All right, the Ethics Board is reconvening in open session. I guess it's about 4 minutes to 5 at this time. And the chair will ask for a motion relating to the matters we discussed in the closed session. We have a motion.
Yes, I would move to deny in part and grant in part the motion to dismiss, specifically to dismiss that part only as it relates to section, it's 18 USC section 595, and that all other claims made in the complaint remain. And then secondly, I would move to deny the motion in limine, and as it relates to the board's investigatory powers, and that we retain our full authority in this matter.
Thank you, Robin. Is there a second to the motion?
I never hear. I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion, further discussion on the matter?
I think it's important that we call out maybe some misunderstandings that we've had, and so I'd like to just read something that we have here, and that this hearing is not akin to a criminal or civil trial. This hearing is akin to a congressional investigation. The Ethics Board has investigatory powers and obligations prescribed by the City Ethics Code, adopted pursuant to statutory authority. The Ethics Board will exercise the full panoply of its power in this matter. The motion in limine is denied.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right. Seeing none, we will proceed to vote on the motion. All those in favor of the motion as stated by Member Robin DeVos signify by raising your hand. The motion carries unanimously. I think we need a motion now as well, and I guess also move that the board directs outside legal counsel Larson to put this decision in final form and authorizes the chair to sign that once it is complete and ready. Is there a second to the motion?
I would second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. The motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Now, on to the next agenda item. Consideration and possible action concerning pre-hearing procedural matters, discovery, and subpoenas in the matter of the pending complaint against Mayor Doug Dinney. I would note that at its last meeting, the board voted to authorize its legal counsel to explore the possibility of developing an agreed statement of facts with the hope that we might save some time at the hearing. Can board legal counsel Eric Larson please give us a report on the progress of those efforts?
There has been some back and forth. It is not yet, we do not have an agreed statement of facts at this time, but I would say I wouldn't rule out the possibility. The respondent has been presented with changes that I suggested following his review of the first set of proposed findings. So my understanding of the status is the respondent is reviewing the latest round, but I have not seen their reaction.
Thank you. A scheduling order sets a deadline to complete discovery of August 29th, so we have a few days left in that. Any of the board members feel there's a need to reconsider any of the subpoenas that have been issued? I'm not seeing any. Attorney Erlander, you have any comments about pre-hearing matters?
Yes, and it's Erlinson, not
Erlandson,
Erlander.
excuse me.
That's quite all right. So I understand the motion, having referred to one of the 15 USC or 18 USC statutes referred to in the complaint, and dismissing section 595 and allowing the remaining claims to proceed. There was, as noted in our motion to dismiss, a reference omnibussly to other Wisconsin statutes. And I'm not sure if that was a part of the board's closed session discussion, but that falls far short of the notice required by due process. So I reiterate and request that if this hearing goes forward based on this state of the record, that Mr. Mayor Doug Denny be advised what statutes he has allegedly violated, which formed the basis for the complaint. And then secondly, procedurally in a pre-hearing matter, notwithstanding this board's order compelling their testimony, counsel for Ms. Bernardi and Attorney Jacobson has advised me that everybody's out of the office, everybody's out of town, nobody's available. And he's out of money in the budget he was given, and nobody's showing up for depositions. So that's where your order compelling their testimony got us. And frankly, I don't know what the next step is, whether you fine them or exclude their testimony. That's the latest on that front.
Okay, thank you for that information, Attorney Erlandson. And I apologize for mispronouncing your name. As to the first point that you raised, I think you'll see that addressed in the determination and order that's going to be coming out that we just voted on. So hopefully that'll help to some extent at least. Do you have any thoughts about the proposed, about a proposed statement of agreed facts?
It's a question directed to me, sir?
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, the last exchange that Mr. Larson and I had, I thought we had agreed, and his email had indicated he made a couple of things just for grammatic purposes, but he had accepted my final proposed edits, but there wasn't a red line, so I presume that whatever edits he made were just taking out a comma or removing or inserting a space. So I think that Mr. Larson and I reached agreement on what facts we could agree to as uncontested back on August 11th.
Wonderful, thanks. I'll leave it to you guys to wrap that up then.
Very good.
Yeah, and it's disappointing to hear your report on what this city attorney and the city clerk's responses have been. I'm not exactly sure what will need to be done about that. I note that we have outstanding subpoenas for them to attend the hearing on the 5th of September. Assuming they do, then perhaps they can address this problem themselves. We issued that order on the motion to compel, expecting those witnesses to appear for depositions and to appear at the hearing to answer questions. So I think we need to hear more from them if we can. But we'll take it as it comes. The next item on the agenda is discussion of and possible action on scheduling any additional board meetings and/or rescheduling the hearing in the matter of the pending complaint against Mayor Doug Denny. I'm wondering if any of the board members see a need to meet before the hearing. I know that we have this issue about the city clerk and the city attorney. I suggest one possibility might be that we discuss that at the beginning of the hearing on the 5th, and then we could then proceed with, after we come to some conclusion about that, we could then proceed to begin to take testimony from witnesses. I think we have a number of witnesses who are not likely to take a lot of time, so we could perhaps start with those.
So would that be meeting, I believe the hearing times are set from 10 to 5, so would we, or 10 until we're finished? Would you want to come in before that 10 o'clock hour, or would you want to meet and have just discourse beforehand at 10?
Well, that's another idea, and that would be fine with me. I don't know how that would work for anybody else.
What was that?
Sorry, that's on the 5th. We're meeting at 10 for the hearing. Do we want to just have at the beginning of that date be time for the committee to meet, or do we want to set another date or come in prior to that and meet before the hearing begins?
So discovery is supposed to, when is discovery complete? Is that
29th.
the 29th?
Friday.
And so if Attorney Erlandson is not able to have those depositions by that time, I would assume we would be given some notice of that, and there'd be some sort of some follow-up. I'm just wondering, we have Labor Day then, that weekend, so then we are missing Monday. So I'm just looking at, I am generally, I don't know how people's schedule looks for generally evenings, September 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, and just kind of playing it by ear to have that.
Well,
I just know our schedules get very busy.
I could make any.
Or, I guess I'm concerned that those depositions have not happened by the date of the hearing, and that's concerning.
Yeah, certainly for actual testimony by those two officials. And it may be that we'd need to adjourn the hearing to a later date to get the testimony of them, perhaps after there's been time for the depositions to take place.
Well, and that's what I'm concerned about, is we have all these subpoenas issued out for that Friday.
And what I'm suggesting is we could probably have a lot of those people testify on Friday.
Oh, I
We
see.
would need to delay things,
And just delay their testimony.
that there's an opportunity for the depositions to take place.
I see.
And then we, at an adjourned hearing,
I got
we
you.
would actually get the testimony of those two witnesses.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in the event that we don't have those testimonies or depositions, then we definitely should adjourn with whatever we've been given at that time and then reconvene with hopefully follow-up information from the city attorney and the city clerk.
That makes sense.
I wonder,
Does Attorney Erlandson have?
Sorry?
I think you broke up,
Yeah, you broke up.
Attorney Larson.
I was wondering if you had an opinion, Attorney Erlandson, on that process. If we would take testimony on September 5th, even if you have not yet had those depositions, and defer testimony from those two until you have an opportunity to have those depositions.
I mean, I don't love the idea of doing it piecemeal to the extent that the city clerk and the city attorney and their communications, actions, inactions, or non-communications with other witnesses may be material issues. And so to have other witnesses who had interactions with them testifying in an open hearing before I've had a chance to take discovery of Ms. Bernardi and Attorney Jacobson and lock in their stories, I do have a problem with that. That by doing it piecemeal, we run the risk of a record that isn't in keeping with the hearing procedures and the intent and spirit of them, and the guarantee of full discovery rights, including adverse examination of witnesses who will testify within a reasonable time before the date of the hearing. I do have concerns about that. Just to close the loop on the status of that, I had reached out to Sam Hall, who was the attorney that the Common Council authorized be hired for this matter. And again, he's talking about a lot about unavailability of witnesses, but he also had exhausted the budget that he was authorized for in this matter. So I reached out to him shortly after the order compelling their testimony was issued by the board, and persisted as recently as last week trying to get them to agree to a date, and was told there was no date offered and nothing forthcoming from Mr. Hall. And so, at least as of today, so I went ahead and issued supplemental amended notices of their depositions for this Friday, the 29th, pursuant to the ordinance, the statute, and this board's order. I don't anticipate those occurring based on the communications I've had.
A thought occurs to me, and that is, and Attorney Larson, if you can advise us on what can or can't be done in this regard, what if we would send an order to the city attorney and to the city clerk for them to attend the hearing on September 5th to answer questions from the board about why, if they haven't by that time sat for the depositions, Attorney Erlinson has planned to answer questions of the board as to why they haven't done so. And, we could have some direct communication between the board and those witnesses. And, I've heard reasons why they feel they can't or shouldn't testify, but I'm not satisfied that those reasons should completely, entirely prevent them from participating in depositions or testimony at the hearing. They don't know what all the questions are that are going to be asked, and there's a lot we don't know. So I think it might be worthwhile to have them come in and sit down and talk with us. Attorney.
So my first thought is we already have granted the motion to compel. So the board has made its position clear in that ruling. So I don't know what you mean by doing more than that. That, you asked for my thoughts. That's my thought is we've already issued that order.
Yeah, I guess I would take advice, like, is there something else we can do to compel them to offer deposition? I
Well-
feel like that's what the order was initially about, right?
I understand Attorney Erlinson's struggles, but I guess I question, it sounds like you've issued the subpoenas now, so this may be just premature and I understand that, and that's why I think the question is, do we need to set an anticipatory hearing for us, or a meeting for us, assuming they're not going to appear? So that, I think, I agree with Attorney Larson that essentially I feel like this is a little bit premature. And I understand these struggles, and it's frustrating, but those subpoenas have been issued now.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Well, it was just maybe some food for thought.
Yeah.
We haven't had the kind of communication about this issue that might satisfy us, but since the time for completing discovery is not finished and there are subpoenas outstanding, probably better off just to wait and see what happens.
So I agree, but there's another aspect of this is our agenda item is to consider possibly rescheduling the hearing. Anybody that I've heard has expressed a desire for it, but if we have complications over this deposition, that request would really come from the respondent, because our code says that we have to hold a hearing within 30 days unless the respondent petitions for a later date. And so I think we would need to know the respondent, are they going to ask for a later date? And maybe we wait and see. But I this at least put out that marker that if we're going to hear that request, your date, and you know that's coming, Mr. Erland, so it would help our process to address that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be among the first to know if they don't show up on Friday, and I would anticipate there being a request to adjourn, given the nature of those two individuals' role in this drama. So what I would tell you is I would anticipate reaching out to Attorney Hall on Thursday and saying, if they have no intention of appearing tomorrow to testify, please do me the courtesy of letting me know that today on Thursday, so that I don't make an empty trip to Wausau on Friday. Done that once. And then if I get a communication from Attorney Hall confirming that they are not appearing, I will let Attorney Larson know that. And I mean, yes, there will be a request to adjourn the hearing. There's no way to sequester witnesses in a way that would guarantee Mayor Denny, the right to due process pre-hearing discovery. It just seems impracticable. So I will make that request as promptly and as soon as I'm aware that it needs to be made.
I want to thank both attorneys for helping us get through that issue and for the cooperation that Attorney Erlandson has shown here. And I think maybe that's all we need to say about this matter at this time. No one else has comments?
Just so should we have a contingency, I guess is the question. Like, should we plan on trying to set up a meeting for our committee, say the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, just to make sure that we have the ability to change dates if that's requested by the respondent? Or is that something we can kind of call to meeting if necessary in the meantime? If changes are requested, do we need to, because we don't meet again until the date of the hearing?
Right. But I think we could, yeah, that's a good point, because if we're going to adjourn the hearing again for a later date, we're going to have to decide what that is.
And we can always,
Do the board members have scheduling issues that would rule out any?
for me, I think I would, if we could do it like in the evening after 4:30, I can do Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday would be fine.
I cannot do Wednesday in the evening, unless it's later in the evening, like 6 o'clock. on Wednesday. Otherwise, I'm free Tuesday and Thursday,
Thursday. Doug?
around the same time, 4-ish.
Yeah, I'm available on Thursday.
Thursday is, what's the date, 7th or what?
That is the 4th.
4th. Oh, we're doing it earlier.
It would be the day before the scheduled date of the hearing.
Okay. Yeah, I'd
And-
probably be free.
I don't know if that helps us at all, though. If we, to cancel the subpoenas
I suppose.
or anything the night before, I'm just wondering if it would make sense to meet on Tuesday, the 2nd instead.
I agree. I think that's probably going to give everybody a little more time if that change needs to happen. And it
Because
doesn't
we'll
have-
know, sorry, I didn't mean
That's
to
okay.
cut
It
Yeah,
doesn't have to
we'll
be a
know by
lengthy
then.
meeting, and it may not even be a necessary meeting. It's just good to have something in place, I think.
Yeah,
That was more my contention.
that's a good point. Yeah, Tuesday the 2nd would work for me. Doug?
Tuesday. Yes.
What time we,
So I have a 5:45 and a meeting at 7 on Tuesday. So I could meet before that.
If we did 4
You know,
o'clock,
5 o'clock,
how about 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock would work. 4 o'clock would work.
So the council chambers is not available on Tuesday at 4 or 5:30.
Okay.
So the closest, I would say it would be available from 1 p.m. to 3:30 to essentially 4.
I cannot do that.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time with that.
And then the only availability for the council chambers I would say would be after 7 p.m., but that might not even be available after 7 p.m. It depends. There's 2 committee meetings that meet in the council chambers that evening.
Wednesday, the 3rd, I could meet at 6.
Well, I could too.
That works for me. I don't know where Attorney Larson has.
We'd have a
Yeah,
pretty-
that works for me. Yeah.
Okay.
That works too for Eric?
Yeah, that would at least give us a day to discuss any changes if, in fact, they occur. Like, I'm not even saying that they're going to, but I think it's important that we have the opportunity to discuss them if changes come about.
And it seems like our agenda would be pretty limited.
Correct. Yeah. Half an hour meeting just to get together to
Have to take
discuss any changes that might come up.
Okay,
So,
so we're saying Wednesday?
What about Attorney Erlinson?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You can make that. I'll make it work.
Okay.
And is the room available?
Thank you.
The council chambers are available at the time.
September 3rd is the date for
Mm-hmm.
Next
So-
meeting,
September 3rd at 6.
next meeting, but it's not necessarily a hearing.
not a hearing, no.
The time, let's see what,
Time 4 PM, did we say?
6 o'clock on Wednesday, the
Sorry, 6
3rd.
o'clock, Yeah,
6 p.m.
thanks for asking.
Okay, September 3rd, next meeting. And our agenda is to,
Just deal with anything that comes up prior to the hearing.
so we know what, we'll still keep the 5th open for. the
Yes, still assuming we're
Okay.
going on the 5th.
hearing. September 3rd, fine, thank you.
We might even at that time talk a little bit about what procedures we would use for the hearing,
Yes.
as long as we're meeting. But we'll see. It'll be 6 PM, so we'll see how much.
Yes,
Get
all
an
right,
Staying
extra cup of
power
coffee
we
that
have.
day.
September 3rd, next meeting, okay.
All right. And I think that was our final agenda item, discussion of and possible action on procedures for the hearing
Hearing
in
pending.
the matter of the pending complaint against Mayor Doug Denny. I guess I would just as soon we hold off on that, we could even discuss it at the beginning of the hearing itself. But it's, I've been putting some time into thinking about that and sent something on to Attorney Larson. And so I think it's a little premature to be talking about it today, but maybe the next meeting.
Yeah, I think it's beneficial that we have the third meeting as an option for that as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
great. All right, are there any other matters to come before the board at this time? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Did you move to adjourn?
I'll move, yeah. He seconded before he even
Sorry,
moved.
I thought the motion was
Okay,
in play.
it's very
I
good.
thought, so yes.
Get in line. All right, so we have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Right,
Motion carries. We stand adjourned.
okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.